8.2c, equations of lines put in slope-intercept form. So again, we're playing around with that y equals mx plus b thing. And we're not sort of using it straight on. In fact, in this one, they're going to give us the equation, not in y equals mx plus b. They're going to give it to us in standard form, which is the opposite of what we need. And what we need, what we're going to have to put the equation into is slope-intercept form, which again, if you remember, is y equals mx plus b. To do this, we are going to solve for y this time. So let's look at some examples so that we can do this. I'm going to clear all of these and scroll up so we have some room for the problems. Example 1 says, give the slope and the y-intercept of 5x plus 8y equals 16. And again, we need to solve for y. So we're going to do a lot of manipulating to this equation like we did in Unit 7. We're going to kind of end up moving some things around because we need to know what y equals. So since I'm moving this guy away from y, he needs to cross the equal sign. I'm going to do the opposite. It's a positive 5x, so I'm going to subtract it. So I'm left with 8y, and that equals, because I'm going for mx plus b, I'm going to put this negative 5x first, and then add 16. So I'm going to kind of mix up the order that they were in because I want it to be in slope-intercept form, and that's y equals mx plus b. So now I know that I've got the x in the right place, I've got the y in the right place, I have a b in the right place, but I'm still not quite there yet because I want this 8 or the y by itself, which means I have to divide it by 8. Whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side. So that means I'm going to divide both of these guys by 8 as well. 5 doesn't divide by 8. And this is in the slope position anyway, so it makes sense to have a fraction there. Because slope sometimes, a lot of the time, is a fraction. But 16 divided by 8, I know that's 2. So I'm going to do that math and make that a 2. Let me move this up. So now I have it in slope-intercept format, but I got to go back and look at my question. What it wants is the slope and the y-intercept. It doesn't want the formula. So my slope, I've figured out, is negative 5/8, and my y-intercept is 2. And so in this case, this is going to be my answer. This is what I type into WAMAP. Let's look at another example. Give the slope and the y-intercept of negative 3x plus 2y equals 8. See how this is in standard form? And we want to move it to that slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So again, I'm moving everything away from the y. So this is negative 3x. I'm going to plus it to move it across the equal sign and make it opposite of, do the opposite sign to move it across the equal. I have 2y. Again, I'm going to put the 3x in first because I'm headed towards y equals mx plus b, so the x needs to be right after the equal sign. And then now, I need this y by itself. And the way that I do that is, to divide by 2. But whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I still have to do on the other. So y is going to equal, and again, I've got a fraction. 3 can't divide by 2 evenly, so I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. But again, that's okay because it's in the slope location, and slope is often a fraction. How about this, though? 8 divided by 2. That's nice. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And again, I have to go back to my problem because I've got this nice and neat formula now. I've moved everything around, but what the problem is asking me is what's the slope and what's the y-intercept. So I'm going to pull out the information that I need to type it into WAMAP so that I get the answer correct. So m is going to be 3 over 2. My y-intercept, my b, is going to be 4, and I found the slope and the y-intercept for this equation. Let me know how it goes.